hopscotch on that top notch on the block. Shimmy slide like me, nah. Spice it up with a sauce. Yeah, my lord said don't do it. I said bop, bop, bop. Yeah, my lord said don't do it. I said bop. Yeah, my lord said don't do it. I said bop. I can't keep up. Play Margarita, big queso. I'm born with the ether, but I still took a heat up. No halo. I've been with a handgun. I've been on my King Kong. I'm halo. I've been on. What? Check my pedigree. I got legacy in my pop. You play a hopscotch on that top notch on the block. Shimmy slide like me, nah. Spice it up with a sauce. Yeah, my lord said don't do it. I said what? Check my pedigree. I got legacy in my pop. You play a hopscotch on that top notch on the block. Shimmy slide like me, nah. Cholula with the sauce. Yeah, my lord said don't do it. I said what?
Only one of these teams can make the lower bracket run to end all lower bracket runs. On the side of Liquid, it has just been Nats. He's been kicking, dragging, screaming, carrying his team over the finish line. And looking at the map vetoes now, Haven's going to get instantly picked, and you guys expected the split.
Oh God, it's another day at Team Liquid's house. We ban Pearl, we pick the split. I'm surprised also because this was also a decision made by BBL. The last time that these two teams went up against each other, BBL decided to ban that split. This time around, Billy, they go for the Lotus. And after what we've seen, many teams, I'd say no teams want to face Team Liquid in Lotus.
Yeah, I think as soon as they started running that double Sentinel, they've really kind of found their identity on Lotus, so that's no surprises. But of course, it leaves that split open, which was why I mentioned before, I'm expecting BBL to have a great amount of prep going into that split. We've been saying we're looking for teams to punish Team Liquid split. We've seen them play it so many times. But looking at that Haven as the first map, this was one that BBL lost to Foot just the other week. But of course, when they played Team Liquid in it during that regular season, they annihilated them.
I think it's so smart. I think that's such a smart pick to bring back the Haven.
Absolutely. It is a map that you've been very comfortable in, that you have a lot of experience in, and then Team Liquid, last time that they played the map was against you. As you said, it was on week 2. They rocked up a new composition and many did not work. It was a 13-4. BBL had everything going their way. Now, something that BBL has to be prepared for is changes in that composition again. Team Liquid ran the Astra, Cypher, ISO, Neon. Like, I don't think we're going to see that same merch coming from Team Liquid.
I honestly don't think it even matters what Team Liquid chooses in terms of cons, because there's something about just these ex-Gambit players not being comfortable on Haven. Nats calling on Haven is one of the weakest points from him. And looking at the Aegis select, they're just going to do their cheesy Lotus stuff here instead.
Okay. I know that composition on the BBL. Levin and Sociable, both of them moving into the ISO and the Euro respectively. We have not seen them play this agents here in VCT EMEA. They do have a little bit of experience actually with the agents.
I love this. I love this double duelist pullout from BBL. I think it's great. I think it'll work really well against that double Sentinel that they're going up against as well. Yeah, I think this is going to be a true test of how we end up finishing this best of 3 today.
Yeah, and this is where we expect BBL to start off strong.
Absolutely. With them changing the composition in their map pick, starting from the attack, you need to be convincing. The stat for the pistols was great. Moving on to players, it's not that great, but it does not matter. It's all about bouncing back.
Yeah, and for me, this is where I think Yumpy can really do a number against Nats. Yumpy has always been comfortable on Haven. Billy, I'm interested to see how Nats calls around this comp. Clearly their identity at this point.
Yeah, 100%. And I think something that we saw from Nats last week was the frustration of waiting on his team being able to make plans, you know, relying on Camel. What do you want as a duelist? How do you want us to be able to set you up? However, I do gravitate towards Serial as well. I think them leaning into this double Sentinel has been really good for them.
It has been indeed. Here we go. Only one team can make it through to Masters Toronto, and it all starts right here. Time to toss us over to your casters. Take it away, Pansy and Hypok.
Thank you very much, and indeed, the last ticket to Toronto will be decided between these two. A lot to be talked about here, Mike, but let's go wide, right? Let's start at the start. Let's go veto. Let's go there. How do we make, well, what do we make of the veto here? Has this got you faith in the underdog, or is Liquid looking safe?
A hint of faith.
Okay.
And again, it's not as if I was writing BBL off in this matchup at all, but I feel like they've had to go through the motions in terms of not necessarily reinventing themselves from the ground up, but showing a lot of new looks so far here in the playoff stage. And this is just, I think, another tick in that box, to be honest with you. Struggled versus Foot here, which is why it's almost a positive to see the composition change. Levin kind of being the focal point there, Lauren.
And I guess if we're going to start talking about the players, we can talk about the comps here as well. Bit of an adjustment coming into today. Anything standing out to you there, or is it more just let's see how it lands?
I think let's see how it lands. Like I said, for me, Levin is definitely the focal point here of the BBL comp, but see whether or not actually... For a moment there, looks like there's going to be a little tussle to kick off the pistol round, but yeah, seeing what he can achieve here on the ISO, definitely where my eyes are drawn to. Struggled previously on the Jet. Yampi creeping closer and closer here. Patitek, some utility to play off. Actually will catch a pistol poking out. Yampi will fall. Spike noted as well.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with those kind of dry hits, right? Trying to just creep up on that. Already punished and a lovely player advantage. Going to have the security for the plant. Look at the post plant here. Still a little bit of util in play. Smoke goes down towards B main, but you can see what BBL wants to do. Take space elsewhere. Nice jump spot, at least from the connector side, so they're keeping that in mind. Drop of the smoke, though, Serial. Got to be cautious. That, what a snap from Levin. And again, though, you look at the other side, Liquid winning their fight out on the other side of the connector. Has to draw forward Magnum. He can't be passive anymore. Camo with a brilliant beginning.
A huge play back in here. Looks as if Levin was going to lock down the site all the way from C-Link, but a couple of backstabs. I think maybe didn't even catch it on the other side, but an awkward timing on the smoke dropping, particularly for Serial. Kind of left BBL a little bit exposed on the backside here. As soon as he's come through, Camo able to pick up a couple of easy kills and actually clean onto Sociable. Pistol round on the board, and I think, yeah, just to come back to a point you'd made, they have to be conscious here that, you know, some of these contact plays well, dry contact plays almost, going to really struggle against Nats and Serial here.
Sound sensor up.
We'll see how this deadlock fares. Ready, Kiko willing to stick around for some time. Camo in the meantime as well, succeeding over towards, well, from Sewer. It is Profect to take away Kiko, who probably outstayed his welcome, but still, damage done. You're looking at the HP of Sociable. Okay, screw the HP. Look at the shot. That's Camo gone.
No surprises.
And this is early. This is still 1 of 18. They can get under the skin a bit here.
Yeah, plenty of time to reset off this, but Levin and Sociable tag down to 35 HP. Weapons not retrievable either. Off of Camo and Kiko falling. So it'll be just a pause here. Again, one thing to note as well, the utility, great coverage across the map here for Liquid. So not expecting them to get too proactive in a situation like this, particularly on the anti-eco.
I feel as though, obviously we know it and they don't, but they'd have had to have dug a little bit deeper to get rid of some of that rather deep utility. And this now becomes, I don't want to say readable, but it's expected, as highlighted with that utility still in place over towards B and A long. Now, is there a cancel on this progress towards Garage? It looks like there is, probably from this. Sociable getting as far as he can towards the B side, and maybe a gamble of a read here.
Plant, at least.
Just going to go for the plant.
At least, well, regardless of outcome, we'll have the ultimate in the next. See what they can do here. 35 HP apiece, and a 2v3 presented.
They're going to need some bangers in this. Sociable's already hit one. Going to need another. Ah, he's just behind it. That's pretty much put the pin on this, but Evan, 1v3. Nah, not going to happen. Liquid cleaning up there. Very well disciplined in the end. And again, you look at them, depending on that utility, didn't need to disrupt that stack towards C at any point.
Also, on the flip side, BBL have got a couple of rounds here at the start to maybe figure out some of these setups and how they want to approach things, whether or not it's going to be... I mean, you've got to assume that maybe it's not the composition they've prepped for.
Yes.
It's something that to be aware of and be able to adjust accordingly. Oh, it looks sharp from the other POV as well. All things considered, necessarily going to come in here too upset about their start, BBL. Said Levin already does have ultimate available.
They get to counter with the clone. Obviously, seeing that ISO online does become something you keep in mind here. I don't know if it's really going to be necessary at this point. Yeah, not going to find a soul here, but BBL going to carry on their pathing. Really good work up Again, for Team Liquid, it is a bonus, so you're looking at those Guardians or maybe that Bulldog with pad attack. But beyond that, it feels like they've taken the first step here for BBL.
Clean sight hit though, so BBL definitely now readjust towards looking at keeping 5 alive.
Could be a nice paranoia.
Good set Nats in motion.
It's got to go soon though. It's a little bit early on that, and there's the trade. So again, BBL happy. They'll sacrifice one, Sociable willing to go down for the greater good. And Patatech, it's really just see if you can maybe catch on with you, lock them into the site, cost them some of these weapons, but they've got plenty of exits.
And actually the dart on that did try and tuck to avoid it. Not going to be able to do so here with the Bulldog. Feels like an awkward engagement. Yampi will fall. 11 down to 20 HP, so forcing a repurchase on the shield at least. 2-1 here, and I actually thought Social was a kill backwards here, but it was actually Magnum to find camo.
It's got to feel nice as well for BBL. The first couple of rounds, yes, they've been competitive, as we've seen, kind of getting the lay of the land.
Let's go!
But it was a good, as you said, clean entries on that C side. It didn't feel like there was too much, force back there. There wasn't too much pressure on their side. Now we're looking at ults, anything close by. I mean, maybe camo one away, but beyond that, still on the verge. If someone does over-deliver, like camo, for example, you're going to have your ult ready to go, and Prophet being removed certainly adds problems. Options become limited.
Certainly does. That's the second layer to this. Early creep up, the cam will spot it. And no progress through here, no commitment. We can see the spike is elsewhere at the minute for BBL.
Here.
Now BBL going through the motions, removing some of this utility. And that's what's going to force the rotation, the adjustment. Side of Team Liquid. Flip side here, Patatech.
Down.
Clearing back through so many tools for Liquid to play off of.
They are pulling Patatech over towards the A side, but oh my god, the timing serial. Oh, this
Lucky
is
to
really
get away
tricky.
with that.
Yeah, Sociable
Very
actually
lucky.
denied. You're right, you're bang on. Oh, and the paranoia. Kiko went in only off his own paranoia, which opens up opportunity for BBL. Patatech playing it well, but he was disconnected from that. Unable to make much of the paranoia that was sent through earlier on, but he still gets his man, putting it down to a 3v2.
Big tool though here, camo.
30 seconds left.
To be able to sniff out this post plant. Yep, ult's invested already, but Magnum gets Patatech ahead of it.
I thought that they'd try and wait, be a bit safer on this, let Camo cook it up a little bit, try and find something. Nat's now playing it in. I don't know if Magnum's watching, he certainly is. No, Levin! Beautiful turn! And a couple of faults there from Liquid, it felt, Mike, a little disconnected.
Yeah, just got to take a breath, wait for the information to swing back in their favor. And the timing just seemed really awkward for Patatech. I didn't catch if he was repositioning slightly. Caught out here, and especially in this scenario with a body to the good. And a retake is a huge fumble on their part.
And I'm going to roll your minds back. Keep in mind those words we heard from Nats on Ascent, right? When we're talking about Liquid, get those comms lined up, be assertive in what you're calling for, focus it. These sort of little, I guess, missteps, they're not major, they can be corrected, but those worry me, because that's going to be something in the forefront of at least my mind going forward, is that Liquid obviously looked a little bit shaky up against Na'Vi, but they looked exhausted. I think that was a fair assessment.
This is
you
really
think
bizarre.
this-
Immediate walk out of B here, but
Good read.
yeah, I mean, there's a trip to hold this, but I don't think the cam was checked by Magnum.
Oh, Nat's feeling the pressure now, though. Can he actually land the shot? Oh, it felt so close.
Give it a chance.
Yeah, valuable still, right? There's still damage done here. And that flank, don't forget about the flank. Camo is on the way. Now, they should have the info on this. The ult was invested, so Magnum should be locked in and shouldn't lose. He doesn't. Security found here. Now it's throw caution to the wind and make the play happen. Levin ain't missing today. Yeah, he's farming it up, but he's got his ult ready to go again. That's the man you want feeling warm into this. And for Liquid now, a brutal scenario for Kiko, who's been a wonder for this side as of late. But this round isn't going to be his. Levin, confidence builders now.
Great start here on the ISO. Second ultimate by round 5. It's a huge win for BBL. I was going to say,
that's how it
that's how it looks from the other way, so can't really blame him for it. Awkward amongst the cage and the smoke.
Nice!
Yeah, the momentum started to build. Energy already being shown as well on the player cams. No surprises for a team like BBL.
And the thing is, when you say team like BBL, they are underdogs here. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, we know of Liquid's choky pasts and their own issues, right? But pound for pound, you put your money towards Liquid in that regard. BBL, it's against the odds work here for them. So they're going to get pumped up. They're going to get in your face. And that weight on Liquid will grow and grow. Hearing the ult come through. You're already going to see Sociable trying to take all that space. There's a lot of utility here. And a bit of a madman play from Camo. Only going to get one there, but does remove Levin, which has been a heavy hitter.
Cutting through.
Yeah, almost arguing a full retake setup here on A side. Actually, Nats has already slipped the net. He's got a head, he's found the spike, and he's got the lure theft.
He's still going! Even though he's a dead man walking, he still does so much damage. Prophet, though, left in the 1v2. It's not safe yet. Oh, there it is. Kiko from above, staying by the window. Sends him back to the next round. That felt like Nats saved them then.
I mean, it looked like Nats was going to dip his toes, maybe, find something on backside, but fully commits towards Sua. A smile on his face as well.
Because Patatek's ult then came in, and you're thinking, Christ, where does he go? But he just fights forward.
Yeah, Magnum, actually almost ready for it as well. Only saving grace being the trade came through quick enough, but...
Nice, guys. Good job. Yo, I got that fight.
Camo gets to first, and I didn't even know actually where his TP was positioned, but it almost looked like a full retake setup here towards A.
Working off the ult, this is no surprise here.
Serial.
That's a real player. Oh, it's so simple for Levin. Serial, that's got to feel rough. Trying to get that spam on the cross, maybe set up Kiko for a slightly lighter target. But they're trying to stick around on the side. Kiko is still here. They don't know about him as Patatek is drawing all that attention. Can he swing out? No! Caught in the end by Yampi, sending it with the Hunter's Fury. This Seaside, this garage take, yes, with Levin's ult, obviously, but it looks very, very hard to handle.
Identifying here, maybe Liquid going to struggle to hold down Seaside. Some of these hits coming thick and fast from BBL. Don't expect Camo to be going for this one.
This has been a bit of a brawl so far, hasn't it? As you said, thick and fast the whole time. Blow for blow almost. Feeling it.
Over there.
Camo would love just to keep the rifle at this point, but it feels like that momentum hasn't settled yet, in my mind. I think as much as BBL have kind of taken a little bit more of the reins in the last couple, Liquid aren't out of the running by any means. We're still at 3-3.
No, definitely not. You think back to some of the conversations we did here about the previous series for Liquid. I mean, particularly, actually, one of the men on your screen right now, Camo, the one that needed to be, I don't want to say reined in, but, you know, maybe brought back on track a little bit. Controlled a little bit.
Spike down, C.
God,
That's,
Yampi.
I mean, it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Not really much of an option for Liquid to contest this at all. No surprise to see an early timeout from Liquid, because I do think even just a visual test, BBL definitely feel as if they're in the driving seat.
Well, since we got to those gun rounds, right, keep in mind the 2 out of the 3 that Liquid have are off the pistol. So, and again, if we start talking composition, it's a little bit harder to be so kind of obvious about it. You've got obviously the Deadlock and the Cypher there for Liquid, so that attacking side could get a little bit dangerous for them. It's more just getting a buffer that they're happy with, but these rounds...
Yeah, that's the thing, with that sort of composition, you want to see BBL getting stopped at the front door. Like,
yeah, they ain't.
Either that or just, you know, completely giving up certain sites and you know, dare I say, being as proactive as we saw maybe on that eco round where they're walking down mid, but yeah, Liquid don't necessarily feel as if they've got their foot in the door in terms of how this is playing out so far.
No, and it does kind of keep me very interested in the work that's been done for this, because you look at the veto kind of split on the horizon next. If BBL are able to, let's say, really challenge Liquid here, maybe even take this one, you've got a potential map 3 really on the cards, because you would put Liquid
yeah, I mean, we would
with split, right?
Yeah,
but
we were talking veto, and it does ride on Haven, I think, for BBL.
I agree.
But then it doesn't necessarily, it's not like it's clear cut on the home stretch.
Look, we were having this chat as this is going to be Sheriffs and a Vandal, right, for Camo. So if Camo kicks off, yeah, we're focused up. But this looks again like BBL want to exploit that C site. They can hit some of these, but nah, you can see Social was so ready. But we were talking about this, it's like that on paper, like, yeah, Liquid should be fine, but then you keep kind of coming back to that weird feeling of, but what if? What if? How?
Well,
you know?
it's similar to the way you talk about Foot, right? BBL
Yeah.
can be any given Sunday sort of team. So, and already we've seen that demonstrated on the playoffs. I mean, the bounce back on map 2 versus Foot was
unreal,
phenomenal.
Unreal.
And again, that was kind of prep oriented, yes, and Foot kind of came looking as linear as they did previously, didn't really change much up. So whether or not Nats and Sirio have a say in this, but will fall. Camo probably just going to hold on to the rifle. But to come back to that again, BBL, like I said, they haven't really reinvented themselves, but they've come with a lot of new pages to the playbook.
They certainly have, and I do want to give a lot of credit towards kind of coaching staff and a lot towards Yampy as well. Again, had a little bit of a chat to Pal because I like to annoy coaches. And he's saying again, after the game, once they knew that they were kind of up against Liquid, they were straight in the server. They've been grafting away, coming up with some new looks, new ideas, and so far so good. This is early days, right? Anything can change. Liquid in the next one, once they get the buy back up, it could be, you know, all good. But I've got to say, for now, it's hard not to enjoy watching the plucky underdog of BBL, right? There's something about them that does make you believe, and it's a lot of those hard to quantify. You need an upswing from a couple of these players to go pound for pound with Liquid, because I'd say, if you look at it on paper, Liquid have some historic names, some upcoming talent, some heavy hits. They got all of it. Oh.
Talk history with Liquid.
Oh.
Not now. Not in a game like this. You just can't. It's a deep burn.
Being a Liquid fan has never been easy.
No.
Man. And for Yampy to be on the other side of it, right? It's kind of hard to... It's not one of those stories that you see, they go, oh, of course, you know, Yampy up against his ex-team, revenge. It's not really like that, but it is an old org. Now, focusing in on the server here, we do see a lot of light shields. I still see that Outlaw there, sitting on 5.1, so ready to farm up. This is a set concept that has sent them forward for Profek. I mean, he was ready for that, up on top waiting, but Liquid doubled down on the aggression.
Cage triggered.
The sort of round I was talking about
They found my
just before that timeout, and actually the spam perfect from Nats. Everyone will fall as well, just down to 2, Yampy and Sociable. Find themselves in a 2v4.
This would be quite special, wouldn't it? Surely not, though. Should have good info here. Need a freebie. Ain't gonna get it when Nats is still standing. Kind of left adrift. Sociable, this is brutal. Nah, not gonna happen. Okay, Liquid back into this.
And this is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about, heavily focusing utility towards one side of the map, sorry. Could you ever work out there?
I wasn't gonna call you on it, man.
But then they're getting proactive and immediately can see the disengage. Retreat away from that, don't want to overinvest. Felt a little shaky, looked as if actually BBL, dare I say, were ready for exactly that sort of thing.
Like, if Magnum was a little bit deeper,
it's not often you see somebody on top of those boxes.
Yeah, what are we doing up here? It was a couple of those parts.
I want us to play the game, okay?
I think as well, coming back to some of the things we heard Nat saying, he's begging the team to be more decisive, be more vocal, call from the front if you know, Camo, but it's the sort of thing when Liquid are able to be the ones to have their say in around. This is very pacey.
They're going to go fact-finding early. This is a 4-1 stack. You're leaving Nats all to his own devices at A. And if you're BBL, maybe you do take, I don't want to say a slower tempo, but you need to go fact-finding again because something has changed. Look down C long. Have a look at what they've taken here. Already, Kiko's got a lot of space and a very deep line to play with. Big info. Frees up rotation. Frees up ice to now turn towards B and A. They still have that deadlock util pretty much controlling Garage. They've got half of this map sewn up.
Yeah, Serial's desperate to keep checking the door, but Sociable's here.
There's a gap in this, though.
There is.
Cover going out.
Okay, oh god, the timing! What just happened? Why are we walking mid on that? I don't understand! BBL just got gifted this! Camo having to pick up the pieces, but the plant's down. You've lost A as well. I mean, Camo is trying desperately, but Yampy has a goal in mind, and they don't matter. What was the mid-walk plan there? You had C long. Were they expecting Garage? Were they expecting A? I don't know what they'd read there.
Well, what's curious is actually the catalyst for this is dealing with the trip on C long. As soon as Camo pops the trip, they're ready to walk mid. to almost, but it feels like Serial's looking the wrong direction, and he's the one that takes first contact. Well, I mean, he doesn't take, he gets his head blown off. It really, really bizarre. Again, could have just been a timing thing, could have been a total misread, but again, the expectation almost has to be that all of BBL are towards A lobby.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, every single one.
When they, bear in mind, they took contact early in garage.
Trust me, I'm scratching my head at that, but a quick turn of attention, it's over towards A, and this time, all players are at A. You could have gone for the mid-walk. It ain't happening now, though. Plant's going to be in. Still a little bit of util on the side, so it's a bit uncomfortable in that regard, but it's not the end of the world. Ults are here. Where do they decide to clear comfortably? Where do they want to send it in? You're seeing the util being invested. Here it is. Clear out the A side. Salvos go in. We've got the Hunter's Fury coming in. This is all now layered. Sociable going to catch Camo. Levin ready, catching the push through. BBL are fully focused, fully locked in. Liquid left to side. An in-zone flawless. That's insult to injury.
So well equipped, and Liquid had a ton to throw at this retake.
Oh yeah, everything.
And it didn't even get off the starting block.
The protocols, the idea that, okay, as soon as this happens, cool, we're going to fight CT, we're going to just stand here, we've got this. Like, they know what the reactions are.
Yeah, looking really, really well drilled. And if this is just purely from a prep standpoint, the fact that the BBL players are hitting the way they're hitting today.
Give the coaches a raise here as well. Like, bloody hell, if this is what it looks like. Oh, I'm petrified here, Mike. Okay, so this is the C take. This is what the mid-walk was probably for, even though it was a very misconstrued idea. It's a flip of position almost.
Plenty of tools once again.
It's you and me.
Camo's going to be the information gathering here. Nats actually wins out there. That's a big kill. An upgrade found as well.
Massive. Magnum doesn't need to overdo this. He's identified a lot of players here, but the rest of the team now starting to feel the pressure. BBL being kind of strangle-held on both fronts. Magnum, passive angle is nice. Trying to work with the others, and BBL digging in their heels. It's down to a 1v2. Profek, Levin, BBL with an outstanding first half. Team Liquid, it's time to wake up. Mike, I'm worried.
Very, very worried. This is literally just built off early momentum from BBL. Liquid almost have the wind blown out of them early on. And they can't win out in some of these gunfights.
Yeah, BBL, the agents of chaos, turning up here in the first half. However, it ain't over yet. Team Liquid with a chance to answer back after this. There is that saying, any given Sunday, every underdog has its day. And look, I'm a play-by-play caster. I normally lie to you people like this. I tell you these fables of these underdogs, but...
Starting to believe.
Yeah, me both. Now, okay, let's put it into context, though. Big attacking side there from BBL. Lovely composition work. Levin looking really tasty as well today. He's hitting some shots. He looks sharp.
15 and 5.
Yeah, he's playing well. And Liquid's, I think it wasn't just their mechanical form. I don't normally question that, but it was more the decisions, the choices that made me question mark, especially on a half that you'd imagine they should have been more comfortable on. This puts a lot of pressure here, Mike, now on the attacking side.
I do come back to that same thing, though, because in the rounds where Liquid are scrapping, they are kind of taking gunfights, they just weren't winning them.
Yeah.
It's almost like that forces you into being a little more passive, but Oh, Sociable. Clean on the first, damage done to the second. Perfect now. To counterbalance that, but Patatech down to 49 HP. Could be a concern for Liquid going forwards.
Certainly could be. Liquid now looking for a man out place, right? Someone to punish, an opportunity to be grasped. Already losing out on that first kill is brutal. Oh, big shot, there it is. That's nice from Camo. Couple more of those and I'm on board.
Well, now a couple of overcommitments here.
Profec's not moving though. Profec's still chilling around here. He's still got a good bit of space. Don't know if he can really complement much with Yampi, who's got his dart back up now.
Really awkward smoke that he's playing around as well.
Turns flash. Gets pinned down. Nice from Camo. What a heroic round from him. I mean, Liquid needed someone. They needed someone. If it's going to be Camo, fair play to the boy. Magnum now looking like the last victim. It's all three. Backpedal away down long. They've got the plant. You don't need to be making mistakes here. One way's up. This should be airtight.
A chance.
Airtight is all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep saying it until I believe it. No one's reacting, though. This is good. I think Magnum now, you get that kind of feeling where you're like, right, the odds here have now started to sink away. So what does he try and do? Draw someone out? Oh! That was a heady, by the way. NT, dude. I mean, you're not going to get the round, I'm pretty sure. Camo's going to get the ace. That's a feel-good moment, and by God, do they need some of those.
I think as well, thinking back to previous series, keep talking about the comms, the leadership from Nats. It was, they needed to build upon some of those confidence rounds, the ones to get everybody back on their feet, energetic, noisy on stage, and just generally more vocal, so.
Yeah, Yampi, unlucky.
Nice, got in!
If it takes a pistol round like that to get Liquid back into this map, I'm all for it. A couple of sheriffs to overcome once again on the side of BBL. But well invested, flushed out purchase here from Liquid. Well, so it's not often you see somebody on this spot the second time now.
I think pretty aware that, you know, this could be pushed here. Kiko does need to be careful to get overwhelmed. There are two players on that. Magnum trying to seem intimidating. It's not working.
They're still walking up to you.
Oh, not afraid of my classic. Weird. It smoked off, so maybe Magnum could do a little something here. Ooh, don't.
Definitely don't walk the smoke.
Don't go in there. But it's enough to sway them. They don't like what they're seeing. Maybe just feeling that someone was close enough that they called for that smoke to come in. It's just a guess. But this then puts it into the hands of these two, unless they go for that B approach. And it feels like Liquid are looking around for a tell, right? Looking around for something. Looking around for any sort of info.
Well, I was going to say that trip going down there should tell BBL. Liquid are going elsewhere. Time to actually maybe try and burst through it, catch somebody solo in the back lines.
Spike planted.
Patatech.
Don't know if that was completely necessary, and now there might be an issue for Kiko here. Luckily enough, you've still got Nats firing, so they keep the man advantage. BBL mostly in the back lines, really. And Magnum's, okay, maybe they should have feared the Classic. Maybe should have drawn their attention, but there's a man deeper. They've got to know about Nats. He'd already picked up a player here, so they've got to know there's still someone around. You can see that Magnum's kind of eyeing it up. But they're being as disruptive as they can be, but Serial this time is going to connect with two. And Profec, they can go a little bit more. That would be lovely. Not going to happen, Liquid. A second step. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Remember how the first one started. It was 2 for Liquid, and then the run came back. So, let's just take it a little easy here. But this is what Liquid needed, Mike.
Definitely, and with Camo coming into the third round with his ultimate, you've got to argue they're going to be able to set themselves up in terms of info here to follow through. Again, the equipment not necessarily suiting them. Guardian, Spectre, and 2 pistols to round things out there. So BBL definitely with the upper hand.
Cutting through. I'll handle.
Replay stack towards A actually initially. Could get sniffed out very early on. Didn't actually spot the player in sewers though. That could be concerning.
I'm looking at Nats here trying to progress. And he's gone down. Now he loses that fight. Didn't deeply clear, and BBL still have the bodies on the site here. Flood comes in. Team Liquid winning out on the site here, making this bonus look deadly. A 3v3 with damage done as well on Sociable. That's perfect. The plant would be lovely. Oh my God, Kiko, you are a brave boy! And you seem unaware, completely unaware! BBL back in it, eyeing up double digits now.
This feels a little reckless from Liquid on the approach. Again, there's a if you want to clear with your ultimate this way towards A, it is a risk you take. Again, maybe you'd argue it's just a gunfight that decides this, but I mean, that's
He
tried,
tried,
a headshot there.
Yeah, you can't blame him on that one too much.
Yeah, the pre-take absolutely perfect here from BBL.
Deadlock utility not even going across is pretty rough. But I mean, it was one and lost. It felt here really. Sociable getting back.
I mean,
down
they're here before the spikes even planted, so BBL making absolutely the right decision in that scenario.
No escape.
B-take, back of sight, Profek. Paranoid going in, and he's getting a little cheeky with it. Spots, it is the clone that we know of, but no one's cleared, no one's cleared, no one's cleared. He's still here, he's still standing. He does great damage! Magnum even taking it further away, leaving just one man. And we know what he can do. One of the great leaders coming into his own recently. But what can he achieve? Nothing! Magnum on the other side, pushing BBL up to 10 rounds.
Going to reset the economy here for Liquid. Concerning response for BBL here. And no surprise to see the timeout button pushed here ahead of round 17. BBL on double digits. Ultimate starting to come online as well. Liquid staring down the barrel here. Again, just to say as well, 11 has just had a lights-out performance so far.
And when we were talking about kind of BBL's win conditions, you are looking at X factors, right? Because pound for pound, you'd normally go Liquid side. Maybe not on this map completely, but you need someone to step into those roles.
Absolutely, yeah. And to look at this veto and say that Haven's the question mark, I think that's definitely been answered now. It's going to take a miracle for Liquid to work back in here. It's only 4 rounds, but how this has felt, it's felt a lot more one-sided than a 10-6.
It absolutely has. I mean, those pistols certainly.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, it's pistol and round 2 on both sides. Outside of that,
what, 4 rounds really gathered from them, but into the buys, it's been one-sided. And I've got to feel if we're going to get a series out of this, Split needs to be a quick course correction for Team Liquid. That is a map that has been theirs day and night. If you left it open, it was always going to be picked by them. But if BBL have done their homework, and so far it looks like they have, better the devil you know, I guess. But Liquid can't break on map 1, Mike. That's what I'm looking at here. They cannot get tilted. They can't be frustrated. They have to make it through this. And the way they're facing these rounds, into those gun rounds, it hasn't been pretty.
That's right. Their luck once again towards B. Potential to get a plant down here. Never actually. Does catch the clone.
Very nice.
But nothing through here.
The end.
Seeing that becoming more and more popular. Very well done. Camo, though, trying to play his life here as best he can, and it's a fine margin. Liquid digging in deeper this time. Big round for them. Camo still sticking around here. They can't afford to let this one slip. They can't afford too much damage either. They want to keep it clean. They've already lost 2. How much can Sociable achieve, though?
The bonus should be Patstech being able to find a weapon here. Does get ahead of the smoke. It does eventually find the upgrade.
Thrifty.
Be a pay safe card Thrifty here for Liquid. Much needed as well coming out of the timeout. No concerns really. Actually, yeah, looking a lot worse than you'd expect here on the side of the purchase for BBL, but see how things do settle down.
I guess they do have the ults. We've got Sociable and Yampi's there, quite nice in combination. Profek as well, if a situation does call for it. But you're right, the buy's certainly not comfy.
Other side of things, Serial. One with an ultimate to his name for Liquid. 2 off for Camo once again, though. He's been extremely active in the second half.
Sociable, I think. Whoa, Profek! Big shot from him. And that's Camo removed.
I am
Drone will spot out here. Actually finds a tag as well. Aztec able to escape with his life though, but cover going out. Kiko finds a response here, a 3v4. Not done just yet.
They're struggling to get deep on these sites, right? Look where these kills have come in, just towards... Oh, it's just a shot in the dark. Kiko's gone. Yampi's done beautifully with that. Patatek and Serial still trying to shuffle up towards A-Long, but they've got a nice passive camera there. Mike, this could be 11. It's looking real likely to be 11. Serial does have his ult.
Well, they can basically get there ahead of him as well. The salvos will slow him down. Still caution shown by Liquid on the approach.
Grenade is live.
Social's going to sniff this out very quickly.
Want to see discipline here. Don't need to go early. You've got the paranoia ready. In the hands of Profek, there it is, and there's a commitment. It's just stunning. Patatek's still... Oh! Patatek, the savior!
Profek's locked out
as well. This is unbelievable. I'd love to get Patatek's POV there, because it looked like BBL had done everything right. And now there's that ult. That voice line keeping you at bay. Profek! Oh, there's no escaping! Falls to the death! You needed a moment, and Patatek's got you one.
That was absolutely ridiculous. The paranoia lands on Serial, but Patatek finds one ahead of that. A second to follow. Then Serial slows down Sociable.
1, 2, oh.
Fantastic work. I mean, yeah, by the finest margin, Serial clings to life.
That's what you like to see.
Yeah, Patatek on his feet, because that one almost felt like a done deal. With the ultimate being invested, the paranoia being the pivotal part there for BBL. A major swing round potentially here for Liquid.
And they need a bit of that confidence, right? Those ones that get your heart racing, that makes it feel possible. Because look at the gap now. Totally different, right? 8 to 10. It feels so different in the blink of an eye. And for BBL, they can never feel comfortable in this series. There's never going to be a moment where you can fully feel comfortable. This is still Team Liquid's game to lose almost.
When in here, you got to argue as well. Liquid should convert out of that. Sheriff's invested. Profek and Magnum with their ultimates, but not necessarily an ultimate that's going to swing around here in BBL's favour. I pray I haven't spoken too soon.
Dumb. I don't think your curse is that strong. I think you're alright. We'll see.
Well, the fact you've said that now.
I'm doubling down.
I've seen some
me.
wacky Omen ults recently.
And we got a whole lot of sheriffs. BBL looking like country and western out here. And it's patient from Liquid. They want to get a read on everything. Everything feels dangerous. A step too far.
Nice setup here as well with paranoia. This is definitely rehearsed, especially with the timing on the TP being sent out by Sociable. Liquid are walking into it, potentially.
It'll be fine, Michael. You said it was going to be fine. Everything's fine. Oh no, everything's not fine. It is a trap play, and Yampi's at the helm. Levin comes in. I doubted your curse, and I was wrong. And look who it is again. The saviors from that previous round. This time, gonna have to go even further, and they're doing it.
They do a back-to-back 2v4, Lauren. This would be outrageous.
You talk about heroics. This would be mythic level of work. Serial just slowly following the steps of Patatek. The hero of the hour. It's all about timing. The ult gonna come in, but Magnum's been caught here. Tries to shift. Oh! Evan! Again! And the 1v1! Serial up against Magnum, and Magnum's been nasty with this. I've got to see composure from Serial now.
Plenty of Util as well. Magnum already tagged down to 45.
Show me a caliber here. Christ!
I was gonna say, he hit a little headshot on a jump peak earlier.
Serial looks a bit nervous, I'm gonna be honest here. Taking the long way around. Magnum stepping closer. He's got a corner to play from. He's cleared close sight. Down half HP, 45 to play with. Can he read the position? Serial, it's all eyes on you, mate. Nerve-wracking moments here, and
no way.
It looks too easy for him. Serial fumbling under pressure. And the curse Nats comes through, Michael. That's a brutal way to face your fate.
I mean, after the first tap on the spike here, the fact that there's no audio cue, no peak, no nothing, I think Magnum figures out the reposition. And I gotta say, I hate that repeat from Heaven in that scenario where there's nothing else for Magnum to really check on. It's so clumsy to jump up onto the edge.
It feels like that, right?
Heartbreak. But just to come back, a beautiful setup from BBL and a sigh of relief. And this was even with Sociable. Like I said, he's timed the TP, but he actually gets ahead and catches the paranoia. And it's him that ultimately is the one set in motion to do damage. Testing that composure once more of Liquid. A tilting round to lose.
Sociables getting under their skin just to get on their nerves, it looks like. Behind them pretty fast. Liquid trying to clear out this site, but they're on it. Yampi, he's unfazed, but he's fallen. Patatek trying to lead the charge. There's still bodies here. Levin, one of them. The heavy hitter falls. Serial this time wins out the fight here. Now, are they secure? If you look at the back line, though, Sociable coming in. Magnum, oh my God, Magnum! Magnificent impact. Nats feels like he's read this. He has. Glorious from Nats. But Magnum tries to go nuclear. It ain't working. Profik, you got a 1v2, and Nats is on a heater now. Serial shaking in his boots from that last time around. Very hard position to clear here. If you want an experienced player, you're looking at Nats. Serial following his footsteps like a lost puppy. The double swing, and Liquid aren't out of it yet. That was a Nats round, though. That was a Nats round. You get one of those every now and then. You get it more often than not, it feels like. But 9 to 11, it's getting close now.
It's just, it's unrelenting for Liquid. The way in which these rounds play out, they just don't have a chance to take a breather, regain composure almost. By the skin of their teeth again. BBL will be back down on a lesser purchase here. Ultimate for Levin. Guardian in the hands of Profek, who wants a stab at things. It's away relatively unscathed.
Is there just going to be a brawl in Garage here?
God, I hope not.
My territory, my rule.
Off ski. Yeah, didn't fancy that. Serial leading the way. Should be able to clear a good amount of this side. Even the back of site feeling good now. It's 3-2 split though. Quick TP. Takes him out towards that back of C. BBL, again, you're looking at the Sheriff. You're looking at Profek mostly with his card.
That's so close from Camo because his rifle was pointing that way.
Yep. The Camo's just turned. Really clean from Camo.
Time to jump.
But keeping it clean. The C site littered with util now. Bolstering the defenses, but caught. Camo gets his gun back out in time. Down to two of the Sheriffs remaining. It shouldn't be this tense, but it feels like it. He has a look. Time's starting to dwindle. Liquid, this is good. This is really good.
Definitely clean some things
They
up.
need this. They need this.
That's it. A flawless round would be another boom in terms of the confidence for them. Patatek on the first 11, a consolation at least. Nothing else for him to find. One round separating them. I got to be honest, BBL, the ones walking the tightrope in terms of the finances here.
Yep.
You almost want a reset in between here because it's very late on in the day. Yeah, because what's behind this? It's basically 1,500 credits. It's bad math for me, I'm sorry. That's way off. Wow, a couple of hundred off.
Some money coming in, who knows? But this is tense now, because as much as Liquid is, it feels muddy, they're still winning out these rounds. They've closed the gap up, and that's a steal. Nats has been caught, Levin. Locked in on this, gotta find him. Oh, big one from Nats! Dream come true for Liquid. Get the opening pick. Sociable gives away the operators in play by finding him, but still, 1-for-1 trade. Profek now, defending the line. Paranoia in. I think Serial didn't get affected, but it doesn't matter. He's still standing. Profek is alive, even on 29 HP. Magnum on the back of the site. Support now in. Liquid, do you carry on? It feels like Serial's on a bit of an island.
He's got the spike as well, so probably waiting for somebody to get a bit closer. Regroup here for the adjustment. Profek, no further.
Nice from Serial, though. That calmness delivers. They wanted to clear those question marks, costing them there. Magnum doesn't really want to get away from the site. Does he slip the smoke? No, he's respected it. It felt like he was considering it for a moment. He's still trying to find a way forward here, but he's been caught by the trap, caught in the net, and it's time to play back through. Kiko does well. Gets back to his feet, clears his vision, but Yampi bulldozering the site. Serial, oh, just about gets locked in on this. Trying to fight for his life. Oh, bloody hell, Palitek, the swing from Garage just in time. And they've broken the bye here. Liquid 11-11, clawing this back.
Palitek very late on this, but I think anticipating maybe somebody else from BBL repositioning. Big win from Nats to kick the round off, but Sociable closes the gap. BBL to call a timeout here. I think as well, Serial's just committed towards this fight on site, unfortunately. Beautiful stuff from Liquid to find 3 on the bounce. Tied up 11 apiece. Like I said, now BBL in a rough spot in terms of the money. Again, no spoilers, there's 2 rifles on the board, but Profek and Magnum not exactly looking flush. Yampi already committed to the stinger.
And I guess for Liquid, whatever means it takes, right? They have to take steps back here. You can see Powell leading the conversation there. Maybe a set piece in mind, maybe just a couple of adjustments coming into this one, but by all rights.
I mean, it almost looks there with his body language. He's reminding them of things they've gone through. Not necessarily a set piece, but guys, remember, play together. Obviously, has looked a little cleaner from Liquid, but I guess in terms of the comparison to the first half, BBL haven't got into similar situations where they've been able to group, focus towards one engagement. Couldn't read that. I was trying.
Sub to some British streamer. This is now where it changes, right? Is this the time that Liquid take the lead here? BBL with a stark reminder from their coaches here in the timeout. But they still need to stick the landing in the server if they want this one to be theirs. Liquid showing that pedigree, that capability. Legendary players on this side. Now they got to make it count. Slow and cautious steps towards C. What's the go signal? It's now. Salvos towards the back of Plat. Sociable instantly cleared. Serial with a banger. Overwhelmed, maybe not. Serial does so well here. Good trades on towards Profek. Clearing out the site and they control it for themselves.
I was going to say, he's only got a judge though. That's just shut down through the smoke. It's a 4v2.
That's a dream. This is an absolute dream, Yampi. This would be so much to do. He's been spotted here. What? One of the only EMEA players to make those singers look so damn good. But he doesn't need to do it. 11's still standing. We need to see 11 get into this. But Palitek's reposition is lovely as well. Evan looking for his man. Nats takes down Yampi. It's really on Levin. He knows about Nats. He doesn't know about Palitek. And timing is everything. Levin choosing his target, but surely Palitek closing in. But Nats holds this down. It's 12 for Liquid. Facing desolation until now. Finally taking a lead back.
A ridiculous turn of events here. Just map 1, by the way. Already it's this close. Liquid. I mean, this is just outrageous from Yampi. But yeah, Liquid with a course correction here.
Come on.
On the home stretch. The chance now to flip this on his head and close out map 1. Nats and Serial with their ultimates here. Looks like might be resorting back towards this B piece.
Sociable. Big info on this one. Hello. Oh my god.
He didn't swap Palitek.
Oh, Palitek's got him. Surely this is enough. Team Liquid. Looking like they're back from the dead. Revitalized and back in charge. Plant being toyed with.
Nats as well.
Nats' position should be the checkmate, right? Vintage, classic. Serial, gotta be careful though. That's a freebie there. And Profek on the follow-up. Hold on. Nats! They need him, and he's right there where they need him most. Team Liquid stand you said, and rightly so, that was only map 1.